Mary Scobuff Sports.
And Mary Scobuff Sports to you.
It's our final show of the semester, so I gotta ask you, what did Adam say on the day before Christmas?
What?
It's Christmas Eve.
Oh, Hannah, you slay me. We've got a great show jam-packed with sports, so stick around.
We begin today with volleyball. The team is currently playing in round 2 of the NCAA tournament in Bloomington, Indiana. Before we look at today, let's look at how they got here. The Buffs fell to Cincinnati in 3 straight sets as the team struggled to stop the Bearcats' attack. Sydney Jordan and Maria Splaska led the way with 8 kills each. After Thanksgiving, Sarah Morton and Raya Finley were honored for senior day against number 24 BYU. Morton had 8 digs while Finley recorded 31 assists as the Buffs fell 3-1.
With those back-to-back losses, Colorado finished 22-8 overall and 12-6 in Big 12 play this season. While most of the roster looked the same from last year, the Buffs took a big step forward from their 13-win 2024 campaign. Colorado was projected to finish in the bottom half of the conference, but powered all the way back to 4th place. Their strong junior class of Kayla Payne, Sydney Jordan, Lily Dwinnell stood out, led by Barilovic, who finished 6th in the nation in total points.
The Colorado Buffaloes made the NCAA tournament and met their first opponent in round 1 against American. CU dominated in kills with a total of 44 and hit over .341. Sydney Jordan excelled in hitting with a total of 14 kills. Buffs look forward towards round 2 in Bloomington, Indiana, facing Indiana University.
The Colorado Buffaloes face off against Indiana University right now in Bloomington, Indiana for round 2. To gain over Indiana, the Buffs need to start hot offensively with hitters like Jordan and Barilovic gaining momentum. If the Buffs can defend Indiana's outside hitter, Candela Alonso Corcelis, then the Buffs can compete well with the Hoosiers.
Colorado football signed only 10 players to their 2026 recruiting class on early signing day Wednesday. Like last year, CU went heavy on the offensive line with 3-star prospects, Xavier Payne, Ben Gula, and Josiah Manu, all committing to the Buffs. Colorado also made a late swoop in for cornerback Braylon Edwards. He was previously committed to SMU. Despite this positive flip, the Buffs currently rank last in the Big 12 in recruiting ranks, according to 24/7 Sports.
Deion Sanders has found his play caller after an abysmal season offensively. The Buffs hired Sacramento State head coach Brennan Marion to lead the offense. He led the Hornets to a 7-5 record this season in his lone year in charge, and his team averaged 33 points per game, which was good for 3rd in the Big Sky Conference in scoring. Marion prioritizes the run game. His team averaged 262 yards per game last season, which was good for 3rd in all of the FCS. CU has lacked punch and pounding the rock during the Coach Prime era. Marion invented his own offense called the Go-Go, which prioritizes an up-tempo and creative approach. Both are things Buffs lacked under Pat Shurmur. For more, here's Harrison and Shane with this week's Folsom Feud, followed by Jake Shapiro and myself with Buff Banner.
The first domino has fallen. Colorado has their next offensive coordinator. Brennan Marion, who was the coach of Sacramento State last season, previously an offensive coordinator with UNLV, was hired by Coach Deion Sanders just yesterday. This is Folsom Feud alongside Shane Holcomb. I'm Harrison Simeon. And Shane, what was your first reaction to that hire?
Well, this is an exciting hire, and Buffaloes fans out there should be excited about this because this is a guy that brings a very fast-paced offense. The first thing that I will point out today, Harrison, is I think so many times last season, or this past season I guess I just finished, Colorado just could not sustain drives, and we're going to get into his offense a little bit later, but it starts with moving the chains, right? And this is a guy who's done that a lot at his past stops.
Yeah, he had the 2nd leading rushing offense in all of FCS, an offense that averaged 33 points per game, had one of the best yards per catch receivers in FCS. Sacramento State was electric, and it was under the Go-Go system, which is very interesting, very unique. Essentially everything Pat Shurmur wasn't. He was very conservative, by the books, pro style, but now Marion, very creative, innovative, and young at just 38 years old. We've talked about how Colorado will go into the future after Deion Sanders. This is a guy that could potentially be that guy to carry all Colorado's offense into the future. He has an identity. It can help in recruiting, and I think it'll be huge in terms of helping out Deion Sanders with this new look offense that has some talent there but needs a lot around it.
That's right, Harrison. And you mentioned earlier, like last year, this team brought in a lot of, somewhat talented.
The first domino has fallen. But now Marion, very creative, innovative, and young at just 38 years old. We've talked about how Colorado will go into the future after Deion Sanders, this is a guy that could potentially be that guy to carry all Colorado's offense into the future. He has an identity. It can help in recruiting, and I think it'll be huge in terms of helping out Deion Sanders with this new look offense that has some talent there but needs a lot around it.
That's right, Harrison. You mentioned earlier, like last year, this team brought in a lot of, somewhat talented recruits in the offensive side. Joseph Williams is one I can think of, but it was kind of like a pluck and pull. It wasn't really, aligned with Pat Shurmur's scheme. I think we most saw that most prominently with Caden Salter's lack of success in the passing game. Hopefully, they can be a little bit more aligned in bringing in his scheme to the players they're bringing in via the portal.
Yeah, and it's a very unique. It has sets where there's two running backs on the same side of a quarterback. It'll be an adjustment for Julian Lewis, who's still very young, who's going to have a second OC in his second year and third OC.
Technically.
Well, third offense,
play
third
caller,
OC, even through a year and a couple months with the Buffaloes. So it'll be very interesting to see how he adjusts, but I think this is going to be great for guys like Micah Welch, for Dallin Hayden, running backs that are extremely talented, but haven't really had a chance to do more than just inside zone, maybe stuff here and there with pulling and pinning offensive linemen. But this is an extremely creative offense, one that can be extremely explosive in the Big 12.
Yeah, and a guy that I'm looking at, too, is what happens with Draylon Miller, right? We saw him a little bit in that backfield at the back end of this past season, and he's a guy that can be a very much of an explosive play threat. That's something also this offense really lacked last season was the explosive plays, especially in that rushing attack. Michael Welch was their lead-in rusher, and he didn't have 400 yards the whole season. So you want to talk about number 2 in the FCS with their rushing offense at Sacramento State. Marion hopefully will emphasize the run here of CU, and he's got playmakers to do it with.
Yeah, there's Marion Miller, you just mentioned, at 800 yards last season, is on a trajectory, on an elevator to the NFL, in my opinion. If he comes back one more year, he could have over 1,000 yards. You were just talking before, over 1,500 you mentioned. That's an ambitious number. But with an offense this explosive, it's very balanced. So we may not see a ton of maybe all-around superstar numbers, but I think Julian Lewis can adjust to it, can air it out, but also make decisions on the fly and eventually install an extremely good offense for Colorado.
Yeah, well, it's all, rainbows and sunshine until we actually see this offense on the field, though. So I'll be interested to see. Obviously, there's a lot of time left. A lot of players that could come in before the opener at Georgia Tech next September, Harrison. But my only question is right here is this is the third play caller, right? And Deion Sanders, I guess fourth. And this is going to be his fourth year here. I'm a little concerned there's not that much stability here, but it's an exciting hire nonetheless.
Yeah, he has an impressive resume. It'll take some time to install, but I think this is about as good as Colorado could have done in terms of hiring their next offensive coordinator. This has been Folsom Feud alongside Shane Holcomb. I'm Harrison Simeon. Back to you guys at the desk.
Welcome back to Buff Banner. My name is Leo Rivera IV, alongside Professor Shapiro. And today's topic of the day, Deion Sanders. Should he be on the hot seat at the start of the next season? I know you're feeling pretty fiery about this one.
Yeah, Deion is one of the highest paid coaches in America, Leo, and the results simply haven't been there. So just looking at money versus results, I think it's time for Deion Sanders to provide Colorado as a constant contender within the Big 12 and across the country. Last year was obviously a fantastic year, winning the Heisman and such, but is that because of his son and Travis Hunter, or is it because he is a good coach? And we don't know the answer.
I think there definitely needs to be more time to figure that one out, and that is the question that everyone is asking Jake Shapiro. Give him another season. I don't think he should be coming into this on the hot seat. No need to talk about firing him. Giving him one more year to figure out who's going to come in. Julian Lewis took that red shirt. He's your quarterback for the future. You just brought in a new OC. Let him feel it out. No hot seat for him.
Yeah, I think reality of the situation is when you're hiring a new athletic director, as the University of Colorado will be doing sometime in the next few months, that athletic director most likely is going to want his guy. And Deion Sanders is the furthest from your guy you could possibly have, right? He's his own entity. Literally, the athletic director right now, Rick George, is wearing Deion Sanders merch. So with a new athletic director in town, paying one of the highest paid coaches in America to be his football coach, whether you like it or not, in my opinion, he's probably going to be on the hot seat at the start of next year.
Well, that's fair, but I think only time's going to tell that. I think a little bit of that pressure is going to be taken off because how much is the university going to trust a new athletic director to come in and immediately start firing their coach that they have spent so much money on, that they spent the last 3 years entrusting with the face of their entire university? That's brought in not only the money-wise, but the enrollment of your students as well has increased, and those off the football field values as well.
The diversity and the inclusion that has been brought into these universities has no doubt been fantastic, and the money that has been brought into the community is no doubt just a total win. The question is Is this university serious about being a football program? Or, as Todd Solomon has said, one of the higher-ups with this university, is it interested in just being a front porch to the rest of what this great university has to offer? That's my question with what this athletic director does, with what they do at football coach, is are they interested in being as great at football as they were in the 90s, or is it just this kind of side thing to get people in here?
Well, I think 9-4 says they want to win. I think there's that desire. Obviously, you look at this 3-9 season and you're left with a lot of question marks. All I can say is you have Julian Lewis. You have the most important piece of your offense moving forward, and I think that should be enough to keep some optimism.
The recruiting should be there. That's why Deion Sanders was brought here. The recruiting hasn't been there, and that's one of the things that really scares me moving forward is we are now multiple years into Deion Sanders, and the recruiting has still been a bugaboo. The staff seems to be improving with the new offensive coordinator hire, but I still have some serious questions about Deion Sanders, the coach, because we both know the timeout, in-game management stuff hasn't improved, and man, you got to make improvements. Whether you're a student, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a coach, you got to make improvements year over year.
Well, there's no doubt that the time management needs to be improved. That is one thing we can both agree on. But that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, Professor Shapiro, for making an appearance. And back to you guys at the desk.
Women's hoops went 2-1 in the North Shore Showcase over break, but returned from Hawaii with some jet lag. Montana State stunned Colorado on Sunday 71-70, winning on a last-second layup. It was their second straight loss. Colorado led by 9 at the half on red-hot shooting, but went cold in the fourth, giving up a 15-0 run. After losing to the Bobcats, the Buffaloes defeated the Charleston Cougars 66-47 on a quick turnaround on Tuesday. Kennedy Sanders and Anna El Dutat powered the herd with 14 points each, while Dutat added 7 boards and a block. The Buffs stretched the lead to 15 in the third and never looked back, showing the cohesion they lacked on Sunday.
J.R. Payne's crew will try to stay in the win column on Sunday at home against the Wyoming Cowgirls. In last season's opener, the Buffs went to Laramie and eked out a 52-47 victory. Wyoming has struggled on the road this season, going 0-3 entering Boulder. Coach Payne's squad must limit turnovers. Their rocky start to the season is amid an average of 16 turnovers. Tip-off is set for 1 from the CU Event Center on ESPN+.
After Wyoming women's hoops finishes out non-conference play and starts their Big 12 schedule, CU finishes its non-conference schedule with Miami of Ohio and the Northern Colorado Bears. They hit the road to face Arizona State for their first Big 12 game. On New Year's Eve, they face the Arizona Wildcats for the first game of a pair of home games. In the second game, they'll face Cincinnati.
Colorado basketball is 8-0 for the first time in 76 years. Since our last show before Thanksgiving, the Buffs won the Orchestra Holiday Classic in California, beating San Francisco and Washington both by double digits along the way. A few highlights from those wins included a 17-point outing by freshman guard Isaiah Johnson against San Francisco and a Bangor Dak double-double performance versus Washington in the tournament title game. After returning home to Boulder, the Buffs held off a feisty Cal Baptist team on Monday thanks to a strong second-half surge, outscoring the Lancers by 10.
The undefeated men's basketball team is headed to Fort Collins on Saturday for the Rocky Mountain tip-off. It's a battle with the Colorado State Rams, who has 2 losses this season. Those came in back-to-back games against Denver and Virginia Tech. The Buffs' start through 8 games is the best in 76 years. Tip-off is set for 3 p.m. Mountain Time at Moby Arena.
After the Rocky Mountain Showdown, Buffs basketball has a busy break with 6 games. They'll host the UTSA Roadrunners on December 13th and the CU Event Center. Then Portland State comes to town on December 17th. The Buffs will then travel to Phoenix to play Stanford in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame Series on December 20th. CU returns from Christmas to play the UNC Bears at home on December 28th. Then they'll begin conference play in Tempe on January 3rd.
With the Ben's Hoopers on a historic start, we have to give you a trivia question on it. When was the last time CU began the year with 8 or more wins in a row against 8 different teams? We'll have that answer for you later in the show.
Despite a disappointing end to an historic season, CU soccer has various end-of-season honors to celebrate. Striker Hope Leba and goalkeeper Jordan Niders are the first Buffs in program history to earn first-team All-American honors. Leba broke the record for most goals in a single season with a Buff, scoring 22. The forward was also named Big 12 Striker of the Year and was constantly terrorizing backlines all season. During the year, Nidus broke the record for most shutouts in a career and also earned Big 12 Goalkeeper of the Year honors for the third time. Defender Faith Leba earned third-team All-American honors thanks to her amazing defensive play throughout the season.
Then in Manhattan, Coach Prime and the Buffaloes closed out their season in a snow-dusted showdown against the Kansas State Wildcats. The Buffs came out with a fight, reaching Wildcat territory on their first 5 drives. However, they only cashed in 1, including a blocked field goal and 2 turnovers on downs, which kept CU from taking control early. Caden Salter was his usual mix of up and downs in his final game as a Buff. The fifth-year player completed 56% of his passes and threw a head-scratching interception. K-State took control behind the sophomore back Joe Jackson, who gashed CU for 142 yards and all 3 Wildcat touchdowns. CU cut it to 17-14 late, but a final Jackson score sealed it.
The third installment of the Coach Prime era came to a disappointing finish after Colorado ended the season 3-9. This was the worst season in the Coach Prime era, and it finished off with 2 losses to Arizona State and Kansas State. Colorado's last home win in the season came before the first bye against Iowa State, and from that point on, it was all losses. Although the season was a disaster, the hiring of offensive coordinator Brendan Marion brings optimism for the future and hopefully some more recruits to come with it.
6 Buffs were named to the Big 12 honors. Amarian Miller's over 800 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns was good enough to make the Big 12 second team. Fellow sophomore offensive tackle Jordan Seaton was also named to the Big 12 second team. Freshman London Merritt was named to the Big 12 honorable mention, recording 25 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. The defensive back pairing of Tawfiq Byard and Preston Hodge got Big 12 honorable mention as well. Byard led the Big 12 in solo tackles with 58 stops. Hodge led the Big 12 in pass breakups with 13. Punter Damon Greaves led the Big 12 in punts with 62 this season, which was good enough for the Buffs' 4th honorable mention.
Welcome to Folsom Feud. I'm your host, Colby, here with 3 contestants today, Lincoln, Balin, and Kieran. Lincoln, start us off.
I'll take game day etiquette for 200.
All right. This is the best way to show respect during the CU fight song.
What is standing, singing loud, and raising your hand in the hook 'em horn sign?
Not what we're looking for. Balin, you have an answer?
What is stand up, sing loud, and do the Ralphie horns?
Correct. Balin, the board is yours.
Give me tailgate traditions for 400.
All right, here's the answer. The must-have item to wear on game day to show your Buff pride. Kieran?
What is black and gold?
That's correct. Nothing says school spirit like those 2 colors. Choose the next one.
Let's do fan etiquette for 600.
Fan etiquette. The proper response when you hear someone yell, "Go Buffs."
What is skull, Buffs?
Skull Buffs is right. Looks like we've got some true Buffs fans here. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to our contestants, and see you next time.
Men's D1 hockey plays in the Rocky Mountain Face-Off this weekend in a 2-game series against CSU. Tonight's game is in Fort Collins at 7:15, and Saturday's game is at the Rec Ice Rink at noon. The Buffs took the first matchup of the season 3-2 in overtime on the road back in October. This series will give CU a chance to bounce back from their 2 losses against Missouri State on November 16th and 17th.
The women's D1 hockey team played their last series of the semester on November 14th and 15th in a series against GCU. The Buffs split the series, losing the first game 3-2, but taking the second 3-2. A little over halfway into the season, the Buffs have an 8-5-1 record, good for the 3rd in the WCHL and tied for the 17th in the ACHA. Junior forward Mia Fischelli leads the team in points with 19 goals with 14. Fischelli and the Buffs will return to the Rec Center in a 2-game series against the Lake Region State College on January 10th and 11th.
History is on the line this weekend for CU women's rugby. The Buffs are heading to Houston for the first ever Women's Division I AA national title game. They'll face Northeastern on Saturday. This Buffs team has shown speed, power, and balance all season, and now they're one win away from making program history. The championship kicks off December 7th at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll be watching to see if Colorado can finish the job and bring a national title back to Boulder.
Hey, Buff fans, I'm Kieran Walker, bringing you this week's top 9 plays in Colorado sports. Tons to unpack this week, so let's dive right in with our number 9 pick. We go to women's hoops against the College of Charleston. Buffs have not scored, but Ziana Walker launches from deep, and she gets the 3 to open up scoring for the Buffs. What a play. For number 8, we go to men's hoops this time. Barrington Hargress going up the left side. He's got room, and he goes in for the slam with 2 hands against the University of Washington in the Acrisure Holiday Classic. What a play. Now for number 7, Anael Dutot going up for the spinorama, and she gets the layup on top of that Wayne Gretzky style, but this is basketball, not hockey. Number 6, this time we go to football against Kansas State. Caden Salter rolling out to his right. He's got room, finds some room, and gets the first down, and he's going to slide at the 50-yard line for a huge 24-yard gain. What a play by the senior in his last game as a Buff. For number 5, we go back to women's hoops, this time against Montana State. And Desiree Wooten draws the foul and gets the bucket. Her bench loves it. The game is tied at the end of the fourth quarter. That was a disappointing end as the Buffs lost by 1 point, but still, what a play. Number 4, this time we go back to that game against Washington. Ben got Dak going up the left side, and he goes in for the slam with 2 hands. The Dak attack strikes again, doing what he does best. Number 3, now it's still the Acrisure Holiday Classic. And this time it's San Francisco. Elijah Malone to Dak. Dak fakes the dunk, and he gets it back to Elijah Malone, who goes in for the slam. Game is tied at 37. Number 2, we go back to football against Kansas State. Micah Welch front flipping into the end zone, and that is a touchdown for the Buffs. What a play by Micah Welch, getting the Buffs on the board in Manhattan, Kansas. What a play. Number 1, we go to volleyball this time. Round number 1 of the NCAA tournament took place yesterday as they took on the American Eagles in Bloomington, Indiana. Play is up, and Sydney Jordan gets her 14th kill of the game. That is how you start off your play in the NCAA tournament. CU Buffs volleyball making us proud here in Boulder. That's going to do it for this week's Plays of the Week on SCO Buff Sports. I'm Kieran Walker, wishing you a happy holidays and SCO Buffs.
Thank you, Kieran. It's time for an early Christmas present. We are happy to present a special blooper reel. Enjoy the fall 2025 edition of SBS Funniest Moments.
The correct answer, Conrad. Conrad. What does that mean? I know. What does that mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't know who Conrad or Jeremiah are.
Isn't that Love Island?
What is that?
Right?
To be a thriller of a game at Rice Eccles Stadium.
Absolutely. The Buffaloes go 3-0 on the weekend. They take down the Rams tonight 6-1. Thank you to our producer Nick Evans for blowing out my eardrums, right?
Those things happen behind the scenes. You tweak things.
Yeah.
At what point, though, after some of these losses, do you kind of lose trust in having the people in the right spots?
I might already change it, and you don't know.
State there didn't have the most impressive week 1 either, but Kenny Dillingham really impressed. He's going to do an amazing coaching job for the next decade at least at Arizona State. So I got the Sun Devils there.
Yeah, I'm taking the Sun Devils as well. I think Sam Levitt is going
to win. Dylan Edwards potentially coming back for this game. They could get that running offense on track. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Wildcats. But that leads us into our final game. We're going to talk about the Delaware Blue Hens coming to Boulder to take on the Colorado Buffaloes in Delaware's first ever FBS Football Live. It's been incredible having you. We will see you next week.
The one and only 24 karat gold Labubu. Now,
just read Lincoln Roach's full story on ScoBuffSports.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah Howell here with this week's Buff Banner, and I'm joined by Lincoln Roach and Harrison Simeon to discuss our current quarterback situation. So we'll get into the questions. Harrison, we'll start with you. Who do you think should start versus Iowa State?
Game.
I would just throw Lewis in for the second half and give him the reps.
Yeah. Well, that quite frankly is blasphemous. I think.
Look, I think there's a reason that the saying exists. There is no Harrison Simeon team, because it seems like you're very narrow-minded in a one-person mindset here. But
is another guy that I have to mention for Colorado. He had 13 total rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds, and it was his efficiency and his ability to keep offensive possessions for the Buffaloes and get the ball back out to the scorers that was.
Trust me when I say this, you want to like and subscribe to the SBS YouTube and TikTok so that way you know when things are going live, like the SBS Football Live Show, which covers a lot of ground in college football. You don't want to miss it.
Tonight, girl, I'ma show you how much I love you. Let the party begin. I'ma do something I never did to you, girl. I'ma turn you out, I showed you I knew you, girl. Tell your friends you ain't coming out tonight.
You gotta wait till the fire.
Gotta wait till the fire.
Ready?
Not from the top, make it drop. That's a wet ass. Not girl, boogie in her mouth. That's a wet ass. I'm talking drop. That's a wet ass. Not girl, boogie in her mouth. That's a wet ass.
Hey Coach, Shane Holcomb, Scobo Sports. I just want to get your comments on recently we've seen a theme across the college ball landscape where, teams are moving on from their coaches faster than ever.
Yeah,
do you think that, these schools and fan bases have lost the sense of patience in the process of building something?
Well, there's no one patience in this world. Everything is expeditious in this country. Everyone wants the quick fix, the quick things. You got mail order brides too, right? You get married, right away. You could get a BBL. You could come in here flat as I don't know what, and leave thick as a Snicker. So this is a different country that we live in, man. Ain't nobody got no patience.
Second half for another Baylor goal put them up 2-1. An 89th minute equalizing goal from Faith Labia was reversed for offside as the Buffs came that close from a tie. Colorado falls in 9-2-2 on the season.
At 24, just above the 8-2-2 West Virginia. Leyva and the Buffs host the 9-2-2 Arizona State Sun Devils later tonight to start the season. The Sun Devils were unbeaten in their first 10 fixtures, which included a win against the number 10 ranked BYU Cougars. Since then, Arizona State only has 1 win in their last 4 matchups.
While Jackson State, he'd make 12 of 13 field goal attempts and go 50 out of 51 extra points, totaling 86 points in total. He'd then follow Coach Prime to Boulder, Colorado. Let's see if I can make this one. Okay. This is gonna be it.
And then lastly, I'm going Mike Gundy's gay son. I discovered that Mike Gundy had a gay son when he was fired. It really, what it makes me think of is Mike Gundy gay son or Lane Kiffin thought daughter.
You never know.
But I think I'm actually going with Baker Mayfield because...
Quinn, word around campus is they call you a bit of a MILF.
Me?
I don't know about you, but man, I love football. On Football Live, they discuss soon what's to be another chance for Colorado to make a statement.
Distribution center and then comes back to the liquor store.
I had cousins that both went to Mines and they met out there. Yeah. Love story.
Your cousins dated each other?
well, no, not before we were cousins.
Oh, okay, I see.
Lincoln.
Swing
Apologies
and a miss
for the error there.
Big strikeout from Longstreet. 2 down now.
But
for Ben Schroeder.
On the topic of cousins, though, Connecticut just recently this month banned marrying your first cousin.
Thank you.
Just now?
Yes.
I believe last state in the union. Not quite sure about Alabama, but
That's a little surprising.
Alabama's Skyline Conference.
Our tweet of the week this week comes.
Welcome back to the Eagle Rec Center at CU Boulder for the second period of action between the Colorado Buffaloes and the Colorado State Rams.
The Buffaloes lead it 2-0. All right, we're back. All right, center. The score 2-0 Colorado. Natalie Ewald opened up the scoring on the power play with a nice. And then Ella Hairston with a dirty goal, just hard.
We do, and no one's stopping him. He's just on the field and no one's doing anything.
Oh, here they come. Here they come. Here they come. They're hitting the Shador, and he's decked at the 45-yard line.
Of the day, laid out by Argus Security.
I wonder if he still has call eligibility. Maybe.
Yeah, someone get that man at linebacker jogging off the field. He's fist bumping some more security members. What a hit. That was perfect form tackling.
Absolutely. He goes right for the thighs, gets him down to the ground, doesn't allow him to keep his legs moving. Incredible job, textbook tackling. Maybe the Buffalo should take note.
Someone is spending the night in jail to start their Thanksgiving break, but what a job by the Argus security member. That right there is something the Buffaloes could use on their defense when trying to stop Malik Brown.
Full chances. So I just can't pick Colorado all season long, guys. Come on.
Wow, really?
I got my Kansas State purple on. I can't do it. They've killed my record. This is my show. I do what I want. Give me the Buffs. Give me the Buffs. Give me the Buffs. Give me the Buffs. By a million. By a million. By a million.
Here we see Xavier McNevitz working on his reader for the live show. If we didn't have these readers done by Thursday night, chances are we would not be airing this show right now. Be like Xavier. Get your readers done. And don't forget to click save so that you don't lose any of your hard-earned work.
What's up, Buff fans? It's Brittany Garcia here with this week's Rapid Fire. And we have an exciting weekend full of sports, so let's jump right in. The volleyball Buffs are underway in the NCAA tournament in round 2 against Indiana in Bloomington right now. Stay tuned for the end result shortly after the show. Then on Saturday, 2 Rocky Mountain showdowns are on the horizon as men's division hockey takes on the CSU Rams at the Rec Center at noon. And that will be streamed right here at ScoBuff Sports YouTube channel. Then the men's basketball team are in Fort Collins on Saturday at 3 p.m. to take on the Rams with a highly anticipated Rocky Mountain showdown. And that game will be televised on CBS Sports Network. Lastly, the women's basketball team will be here at home at the CU Event Center to face off the University of Wyoming Cowgirls on Sunday at 1 p.m. And that will be streamed on ESPN+. Well, that's all I got for this week's Rapid Fire. And happy finals and happy Christmas break. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, guys, before we hop into trivia, we have some disappointing news as the Colorado women's volleyball team season has officially come to a conclusion after being swept 0-3 sets by the Indiana Hoosiers. But now it's time for a jolly old trivia answer. As a reminder, we asked you, when was the last time CU began the year with 8 or more wins against 8 different teams? Drum roll, please. The answer is 1941. The 1941 team played SMU, Rice, and Emporia State twice over, while 8 years prior, CU was red hot. The Buffaloes began the year with 14 straight wins. CU looks to remain unbeaten tomorrow at 3 in Fort Collins.
Our tweet of the week this week comes from the Sanders family Thanksgiving dinner, where video surfaced of Shiloh Sanders making fun of his brother Shadur for studying plays at the table before his first NFL start. Shiloh called Shadur a good boy for watching film so Coach Stefanski doesn't get mad. Shiloh also prayed before eating that Shadur throws for 500 yards so he can pull some strings and get Shiloh on the Browns roster.
Look at him studying his plays and whatnot before his big game. What a good boy, studying your plays so Coach Stefanski don't get mad. Stefanski, I even study my plays on Thanksgiving. Lord, please allow Shador to do his best so he can pull some strings and get me on the Browns too. And please make number 21 available somehow. But
what is this award? It's the franchise player. 21 gone, bro.
Well, never mind. 28 will do. Thank you very much, Lord. And in Jesus' name, amen.
I like that.
Well, we thank you all so much for spending your fall with us. It really has been a tremendous season with you all. I hope you guys stay warm throughout the winter season and have a happy holidays. As always, I'm Lee Rivera IV.
I'm Hannah Howell.
And you heard it here first.